Hello and welcome to the Tami Show, from my home in Auckland, New Zealand, to wherever you're watching today. Now, I've got some exciting news today to tell my brother Jay. So I'm gonna go give him a call and see if he'll sing a song with me. I totally just did the Wiggles handgun. They're gonna sue me. Please don't sue me. Is that copyrighted? Ready, steady, lawsuit. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
I actually have some cool news today. You know how during this time you have no news, and so if like even a little tiny thing happens, you like save it up all day to tell like the person you live with because they know everything that you're doing, and that's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
nothing
we're all at home all the time. You kind of have to ration it out like candy, you make like this big sense of occasion over the littlest things. And so last night I literally typed out this entire message to you to tell you what I'm going to tell you. And I was just about to hit send, then I'm like, wait, we should record this. We should make it part of the show.
That's the Steven Spielberg in you coming out.
Okay, so the news is I entered 2 of my songs into the New Zealand Music Awards, and both of them made the top 3 finalists. And one of them, yes, and so one of them is Hey Bus Driver, which you co-wrote with me.
Nice.
So congrats. Congrats.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
So the winners are going to be announced on the 30th of May in New Zealand time. So we'll both have to like tune in, and maybe we should I think we should do like dress up and do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought to celebrate, how about today we perform Hey Bus Driver?
Nice.
Our nominated song.
Winning. Oh, I was going to ask, what's the other song? What's the other song that got nominated?
Well, it was Any Fool with a Heart, which, you have absolutely nothing to do with. It's 100% all me. So, what? God, who's the diva now?
Truck stop coffee and same white lines, every road I've seen. Fall asleep looking at your picture, wake up, say your name. Bring tears out of my pillow, broke on going insane. Hey, bus driver, put your foot down 'cause I'm on fire. 18 chores out on the road, it's only 6 more days. Only 5 more days, only 4 more days.
This week I want to show you another Zoe Hall and Curvy Couture by Judy D collaboration. I often say that Judy is my fairy dress mother because the norm is I literally send her a drawing of my ideas and it arrives on my doorstep a few days later like poof, like magic. It was originally supposed to be a jumpsuit and a cape that I asked Judy to design for me. And she did, she put it all together, but I was so busy in between tours that I didn't really get a chance to do a lot of fittings with her. And so she sent it directly to Zoe to decorate with all her incredible leather and rhinestone custom paintings. And they sent it back and it didn't work at all. It's very rare that something doesn't work. But in this case, I ended up getting 2 amazing outfits or dresses out of that. The cape was originally turned into the hot damn dress that you'll see on another episode. And this dress, which I wore in the music video for Any Fool with a Heart from the CHICKABOOM album. And of course, shout out to Doodad and Fandango, who made me these little custom-made Orville Peck earrings. Now, if you guys haven't heard of Orville Peck yet, you've been living under a rock, but he's a great artist, so make sure to check him out. Hey, little bro.
Hello, how are you?
Good. People are gonna be like, who's this brother? This one doesn't have silver hair.
It's the one behind the scenes with the mustache.
The quarantine mustache. Oh my
gosh.
God.
I literally don't do it ever because I look like
Because
Freddie
of this.
Mercury. Like, he works hard every day.
Okay, so I thought that I would ring you for a change, give you a turn. It's only fair.
Every episode, I'm like, one day they'll let me in.
Waiting
And
by the
last
phone.
episode- yeah, last episode, you're like, I'm going to get my other brother. I was like, oh. And then it was just Jay. Double J. What the frig? I didn't hear that back.
It's so mean. Some people don't realize that you're the secret behind all of my visuals, my album covers, my music videos, my mustache tutorials.
Which you will shave off in the next episode.
Yeah. I just gotta let it grow in again.
Yeah, and all the way from Canada. Yeah, my company Valiant, the Valiant team, we're big Tami fans, you know. So anytime the work comes in, I said, Jules, our art director, I was like, do you want to do it or who's going to do it? And then she takes it mostly because, you know, she'll actually do it.
Oh, it's because you arm wrestle and she's stronger than you.
That's right.
Yeah.
She plays volleyball, grew up as a farmer. I'm like, I'm a creative guy.
Look at my Gumby arm.
Yeah. Well, I'll do the video. But the music videos, that's on me.
So I thought that we would do kind of a director's cut commentary and
Sounds
show
good.
people the Hey Bus Driver video, which is only 2 minutes long. So we're going to be like, and then, okay, ready?
Yeah.
And
It's okay. Everything's okay. So we were shooting that super slow motion. I think it was 120 frames, or maybe, yeah, I think it was. We were speeding that thing up mighty fast.
oh my God, I couldn't even sing the words. It was so fast.
You did pretty good though.
I begged you. You actually were going to do it like even faster than that. My face was going to be all weird and contorted.
But this was super fun too. We actually wanted like a Mr. Dress Up kind of look and feel. Kind of scooch by that mic there. That was Dad's
like
mic.
Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's more like it.
Yeah,
We
so
kinda
that
moved back-
microphone was Dad's. That harmonica was Dad's.
Yeah, the harmonica's actually in the Hey Mama music video.
The first video you ever shot
Yeah.
for me.
So yeah, here we are panning back to show the landscape. You guys are killing it at like 60 frames, I'm pretty sure.
You have to talk about how you made this miniature town, like in a
Right.
day or 2 days.
Yeah, so we only had 4 days of prep because I always work last minute, and we're on a budget. So
Always.
Val and I at the office, I was basically like, let's get some miniatures from Amazon and we'll order all this stuff. It's gonna be great. Well, the miniatures came in, they weren't built, and they weren't painted. So I was like, crap. So basically, a lot of it's printed. It's printed stuff, and this is like felt we got from a crafts shop, and we kind of bent it and hot glued it so it looked like mountains.
Okay.
The field's there. The left is coffee grinds. The right is hot chocolate powder.
I didn't know that was hot chocolate.
And the street, like, we just printed that stuff. Got some miniatures from some old antique markets, and just kind of like put it all together. And here, this is where Jay crunched. Okay, this is a good one. You got to explain this a little. Jay crunched.
That was my favorite part. I think I've got the clip somewhere, which I will play. Jay has the strength of a 6-year-old girl. It took him how many takes to crush that house?
It's not good, man.
The thing is, I got that from an antique shop, and this thing looked brittle. I was like, yeah, just stomp it. It was going to be in slow motion. And he was like,
It's a tiny house. It's tiny. Yeah.
So then he goes to Gimmer, and literally his shoe shattered. It was like,
those things from the 50s were built well.
I know. They're like, now listen up here, see? We're going to glue it with concrete. Jay's like, are you serious? But after the third or fourth time, we kind of put it all back together, and then we were like, Gimmer! And yeah.
Move it and you crush it.
Definitely super fun. You guys killed it.
You always pull it off, man. You pull it off on a shoestring. That's the Neilson way.
Yeah, don't say that on here. I'm expensive. Everybody.
Very expensive.
Super.
I'm just going to fix my camera because the duct tape's come off. Just
Get out.
Tell me that you love me. Tell me that you love me. Tell me that you love me and you never let me go. Tell me that you love me and you never let me go. Ah, tell me that you kiss me. Tell me that you kiss me. Tell me that you kiss me and you do it real slow. Tell me that you kiss me and you do it real slow. Ah, please, please, pretty, please, pretty, pretty, please me. Tease, tease, don't you tease, ready enough to tease me. I need your here, both of us are waiting here. I can give a kiss and so want to be my lady, please. Well, tell me that you love me. Tell me that you love me. Tell me that you love me and you never let me go. Tell me that you love me and you never let me go. Show me that you love me. Show me that you love me. Show me that you love me and you do it real slow. Show me that you love me and you do it real slow. Ah, tell me that you love me. 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 Tell me that you love me and you never let me go. Tell me that you love me and you never let me go. I say what I wanted you to say. Yes, you think tomorrow, baby, to be today. No, we'll never get better. Not in any kind of weather. I'm a real talk. Get around and let the L.O.B. Well, tell me that you love me. Tell me that you love me. Tell me that you love me and you never let me go. Tell me that you love me and you never let me go.
Today we're going to talk about the OQ, the original queen of country music, Miss Kitty Wells. I picked up this little beauty secondhand at a Nashville institution, Grimey's record store. And can I just say, look at this dress. I got to see this dress in person. It's on display at the Ryman Auditorium in downtown Nashville. And it is a sight to behold. I mean, come on. Arguably, her biggest hit was It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels, which is the first track on this album. And that song was a direct response to a hit that was out by a male artist called Hank Thompson. And the song was The Wild Side of Life. Hank talked about how it was honky tonk angels, women who were leading men astray. It was them who were to blame for men's infidelities. And you have to remember, this was way back in 1952, and Kitty Wells came out with this song. Same melody, same music, only the lyrics changed. And it was a direct call out to Hank Thompson's song. Now, the song was banned. She wasn't allowed to play it on the Opry. Radio banned because it was far too controversial, daring to sing about infidelity and how it might not be all the woman's fault. But despite that, Kitty Wells had the first #1 country song for a solo female artist on the Billboard charts in 1952 with that band song. This album is obviously of her greatest hits, and she continued to be the only female artist, solo female artist, that was consistently on the Billboard charts. The thing that makes this even more amazing is the fact that Kitty Wells had a reputation of being a real womanly, feminine woman. In the 1950s, you know, kind of this perfect housewife. Oh my God, this is gold. This is gold. If you read the back, there's a quote on here that says, despite her tremendous success, Kitty Wells is, in the words of Tennessee's former governor, an outstanding wife and mother in keeping with the traditions of Southern womanhood. I mean, wow. Despite her success. Kitty Wells was also the very first artist that I ever got to open for. I was about 11 or 12 years old, and my dad did the opening set for her, and at the end of his set, he called us up to do a few songs. And I can remember before that show, we were backstage, and it was a dinner show, and he called me over and said, follow me, and he took me around the corner to kind of poke my head around the corner to this hallway that we had to go through to get to the stage. And in that hallway was Kitty Wells in head-to-toe sequins, dressed to the nines, sitting on this little chair, clutching her little purse, waiting to go on, while all these waiters and waitresses flew past with trays and food was flying off of it. And my dad said to me, you see that lady right there? That is the queen of country music. I mean, Dolly Parton, Patsy Cline, Loretta Lynn, they all wanted to be her. And he said, take a good look, because that is the reality of the music business. And I'll never forget that lesson. At the end of their show, they called us up to join them to sing Will the Circle Be Unbroken. And I remember there being a cake on stage. I think someone in the audience was celebrating an anniversary or something. And you can see in this photo, I think I'm more engrossed with the cake than possibly being on stage with the queen of country music, Miss Kitty Wells. I mean, I was 11. Give me a break. Cake trumps everything at 11. Let's be honest, it still trumps everything. So have a listen to Kitty Wells, folks, and see where it all started for women in country music. Hey, this is Ask Tami, where I answer your questions. Do you write the melody or the lyrics first? A lot of times it happens at the same time, but I tend to go back and fine tune the lyrics after I've written a melody. As for the music, I tend to almost go with a groove first. I remember when I wrote Queenie Queenie, which ended up remaining a groove and had no instrumentation other than percussion. Queenie Queenie, don't drop the ball. Queenie Queenie, don't drop the ball. Queenie Queenie, and I had to, that wasn't sustainable for my face. Next question is, who did the music production on the new album? Love the sound. Thank you. I called in one of my very dear friends, Delaney Davidson, who's an incredible artist in his own right. Make sure to check out his music. But Delaney and I write a lot together, and he's produced 3 of my albums now. Dynamite, Don't Be Afraid, and then I asked him to come and co-produce CHICKABOOM, the new album, with me. As for the sound, we recorded it at the lab here in Auckland, New Zealand, and had the wonderful engineering and mixing of Joel Mulholland, another great New Zealand artist, goes under just Mulholland. So I'm surrounded by talented, wonderful friends, so make sure to check their music out too. That's it for today, but make sure to send your questions into Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, email, however you want, and just hashtag Ask Tami, and I'll get to your questions. Thanks so much for joining us today on The Tami Show. If you enjoyed it, I hope that you will subscribe, and we'll see you here same time, same place next week.
It's like a tail on a tomcat beginning to twitch. I need some sweet silence filling up my head. I need to spend some more time tangled up in my bed, burning up both ends of my wick. Started running while the bomb still tick.
I hope that if you enjoyed... Are you quite done? Sit. Thank you. Thank you. I know. It's my job now.